So I'd like to know who is familiar with the tools and who is completely new, who has no idea how anything is working and who has already some experiences. Kim from the Netherlands, wow. You have, Michelle, you have no experience or?
I have seen some tools 20 years ago with a CD at my ex-wife home, and we tried to clean. We did start to make some cloud busters,
Uh-huh.
but after 20 years, I forgot everything. So I've got no idea.
Okay, you have no idea. And plenty of that. Okay. We have, where in Switzerland are you? Are you in the French part?
Yes, I'm in the French part. Originally I'm from Geneva, and now I'm living in Neuchâtel.
Okay. Okay. Very good. So, okay. Kim, we have one of the healers in Holland actually wrote in his book about slim spurling. Do you know him? No?
No.
No.
What's his name?
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember his name. But if you go on our website, we have still a distributor in Holland, and she was connecting us with this person. So let me just find her name. So, and then we get officially started. Yay. Okay, no, I don't need translation. Handler. Okay. Holland-wide. Nederlanden. Simone Baumann-Goring. You find her on our German website, and I put the link in here, and then you can contact her and ask for the name. So those of you who are watching from Europe, Nightlife Tools Europe is our European website, and this is if you are interested in getting some tools, that would be the website where you will get them from. From Georgia, we have two people from the US. How about that? Hi. Hi, Mia, and hi, Kimberly. So are you new to the tools or do you have some experience?
I'm brand new to the tools. I've never used any of them, but I've always been fascinated by electrotherapies. Kind of got into it with gardening, and then found out about Mr. Sperling's tools, and I've been fascinated. So I would love to learn more.
Okay, perfect. Alrighty, then let's just use this hour and start with how to use the tools. But first, you want to know how to, and let me just see if I have a darker pad here. No, I don't. So what is different from our rings versus a normal ring? One of the things, this is a one sacred cubit ring, and that this measurement was used in building the Pyramid of Giza. And what is special about our rings, if you take, they are all made out of copper, and then they have first a layer of silver and then 24K gold. Now, if you take a pendulum, the energy of the ring goes to the right in both sides. I turn it over. You see? So if you take a normal ring, like if you have a wedding ring or any other ring, it doesn't matter if you can get it off. You want to take your pendulum. Wait, let me just see if you can see that. So one side goes to the right, and this is the side you want to point towards your body. And you see, this is a normal ring, and the other side goes to the left. So you always want to make sure the right side goes towards your body. Now, if you don't have a pendulum, You can take any object, put it on a string, a small object, and that can use that as a pendulum. And why is it so important that we have a right spin on both sides? Because you don't hear any sound. Everyone else can hear me? Okay. So, Nathan, I think it is on your computer because everyone else can hear me and vice versa. So maybe you want to click on the audio button and audio, there's an arrow going up, and click there and see if you can change it. So here we are having the one sacred cupid ring. It has a right spin on both sides as all of our rings. And inside the ring is this tensor field or 0-point energy field. And what this means that when we are choosing a ring, then we are looking at what do we want to accomplish with it. So like this one is my favorite one. I take 2 of those when I go back and forth to Europe, and I sit on one and I have hardly any jet lag. The other one I put in the front of my seat pocket, and when the pilot says, flight attendant, sit down, the next 20-minute disturbances, then I take my ring out, I use my intention, I scan, or sometimes I just have it on my belly and just do your work. And one time I checked and it was between 5 and 7 minutes for it, and that was the 20-minute turbulent came to a halt. So you can have a lot of fun with that thing. I have it on every burner of my stove. If you come to my house, you will find the rings everywhere. I have it off the cat food, over the water filter, a big one on the fridge, and over the cosmetic, over the supplements, over on my pullout. I have them in a vesica Pisces pattern on the top, so that the food that I have in there doesn't get wobbly. So you just have to help yourself, be creative, and use the rings wherever you want. I have the larger rings in my trunk. I sit on a large ring, and this is because we want to focus on what you do for traveling. This is one where it's a good idea to have the ring sitting on it, so it can really energize you, so that you are not getting tired fast when you're driving, or again, if you're traveling by plane, it's a good idea to sit on a ring. And when it comes to air travel, then I am now using, I always have my harmonizer here. You see, I have a little container, and I have the Matrix 44 because the silver-plated harmonizers are helping with reducing the EMF. And on the plane, the EMF are much higher than when we have to put our carry-on luggage through the security tunnel. So this is, then I can help basically everyone with who is on the plane with a reduced EMF. What I'm wearing today, I'm wearing a different harmonizer, my little mini Unity, so that you can see this one. Let me just see how. Oh, it has a little clasp so that you can put it on any. I have different gemstones, so I can put them on different coats. But when it comes to traveling, then I'm using my Unity personal harmonizer, and that is the New Dimension one. And the New Dimension has special qualities. And one of our healers in Germany, she was saying that when we are traveling, and she travels a lot, she's always wearing this one and the New Dimension one Lost Cupid ring. And so she says, and she also uses a shungite pendant, but she says that's a really powerful, she can see energies and everything. And so she swears that this is a really powerful protection when it comes to protecting yourself from all the stuff that comes towards us when we are traveling, especially air traveling. But nowadays you can get all kinds of stuff everywhere we are, right? So this is why we want to make sure we have what we can use what we have available to us. Now, what all can you do with the ring? We have the practitioner set, and when it comes to hiking, for example, the practitioner set is the 1 sacred cubit ring, the sacred cubit feedback loop, and the sacred cubit aqua coil. So here, this is a combination that I highly recommend when you are traveling, especially also when you're hiking. And you can put a jar of water in there. It gets super potentized overnight. During the day, people who had sprained their ankles, they put this configuration in a bucket of water, and then they have to leave it in there for several hours, but they say then they were able to step on their foot and the pain was significantly reduced. So this is a great way to, the other reason why I want you to have at least the ring with you when you're hiking, for example, because if you are coming, like in Colorado, if you don't like the weather, they always say, then wait a little, it's going to change. So you can leave the house in the morning and it is really warm, like 28 degrees, and in the afternoon it cools down to 10 degrees. And you can be surprised by a hailstorm or something, or rain or whatever. Rain, we don't have not that much, but hailstorms we can have. Now, if you are having one of those rings, you can actually, and I have done that when I lived in Germany, we had hail clouds, and I remembered what Slim was saying, so I used the ring. I had a larger at the time, but people reported even they were in tornadoes with this one. And you just you hold the ring and you scan the sky that the hail cloud is in the center of the ring, and you put your intention in there, and we have so many reports. I don't know if it always helps, but the intention, how high the intention is, gives you the result. So we had so many reports from hail cloud being dispersed, so that they had rain, or one gentleman who was working up in the mountains, and he has always this ring in his cap, so he never goes anywhere without it. And he had to finish a outdoor job, electricity, and it started to needle, and he was like, no, we cannot have rain. It's too dangerous. We want to finish our job without the rain. So he took his ring out and he scanned the sky and the clouds, and he said, we cannot have rain where we are. And he said, honestly, we didn't have any rain. It was drizzling around us, but we were able to finish our job without any danger and without any rain. So it really depends on how you're using it. But we had sometimes really heavy hail, and so having a ring to reduce the hail is really a good idea. Now,
excuse me, Catherine, it's 1 cubit, yes? The ring is 1 cubit?
yeah, this
size?
is the one sacred cubit ring, item number 102. I can put it in the chat for you. I have the item numbers, but I don't have the different prices. 1 second. Okay. So that's really very handy to always have with you wherever you are going. If you're in the car, you can also use it to put it in the direction where you are going. So the aqua coil is part of the practitioner set. This is a good one. Okay. Let me get back to you in a little bit, Michelle. So you can find all this information also on the website, but I get back to that a little later, okay? So the aqua coil has a direction, and this is the sacred cupid one, and this is the lost cupid one. I'm going to explain to you how the lost cupid works because it's easier to see. The sacred cupid has the bead inside, and you can see the bead, but this one is easier for a visual. So while the rings work in both directions. So when I speak through the ring and looking at you, you guys can have a benefit from the ring. Now, the aqua coil works different. The aqua coil has one side that is pulling in negativity, and that can be emotions, that can be physical pain, that can be all kinds of disturbances in your environment. So always, you can even, if you are in a meeting and there are always people who are disturbing, you can actually put the coil on the table next to a water glass and point it with the bead away to the people that are arguing or like to argue. Or if you are teaching, you can put the coil so that you have it on your desk and point it to the with the bead away to your students, and it really helps. And one of the significant experiences I personally had with that, I had this one in sterling silver, and Slim was speaking at a conference, and not all people were, how can I put that nicely, were in his favor. Some were not so friendly towards him. And so I said, okay, I better put the aqua coil on his desk where he had the other tools so that it will be pulling out the negativity that's in the audience, because I don't want him to be more more bombarded with negativity than necessary. After he was done with his talk, an hour later, I was picking up the coil, and the coil was broken. It was broken. It had to work so hard to pull out the negativity that was in the audience. And I'm with the tools now for 28 years, and in this time, I think I can remember one or two, and maybe there were 3 coils that we got back that were broken. So this is a very, very powerful tool. So don't underestimate that. You can also do long distance work with it. If someone asks for your help and they are miles away and can be hundreds of thousands, it doesn't matter. You can take a picture of the person and then you point it to the area that needs attention, and you can put it on a stand or something so that it fully covers the area, and then it can pull out the negativity. What's important with the coil is that when you are using it to treat someone, like you are a practitioner, and you always start where it's hurting and then you move away with the coil. And you can do it in circular movements, left or right, whatever you feel guided to. And what can happen with the coil is that the coil can start vibrating, the coil can start changing its form, the coil can start feeling hot or cold. So really depending on the situation. So nothing is wrong. It just is different for each person. When you're done with the session, or you just have to finish because the next client is waiting, then you're going to turn the coil over. Like first we pulled out, we went away, and if you're alone, then you can put it on the shelf over there. And when you feel, okay, I feel better, then you pick it up, you turn it over, and then you bring the bead towards the area you have been working on. Because you have to remember, we are creating a void. We are pulling something out. And we don't want to have anything nasty going back in there. So this is why, and this is what people who can see the energy, they saw that the bead, the area of the bead, this side brings in light energy. they can see this as golden light. So when your immune system is jeopardized, then you can point the bead towards your thymus, because the T cells are produced in the thymus and they are encouraging improved immune system. When you're working with acupressure points, when you're familiar with the acupressure points, people have been using the coils for working on the acupressure points. You just have to remember the coils work faster than needles. So when a point needs charging, then you put the bead towards the area that needs charging. When it needs discharging, then you put the bead away from the area so that it's discharging the area, the point, okay? So Slim always had one of those in his jacket wherever we went. If someone needed help, he got it out and he was helping people. If it was on the beach in Venezuela or it was in a diner in Colorado, someone you could say, oh, he's having pain. He said, hey, come here, take this, put the coil if you have shoulder pain, with the bead down under your armpit, walked around a little, and it didn't take long, and the person felt better. So we also have the feedback loop, which is part of the practitioner set. And what's important about the feedback loop is, first we saw it only works on like the coil, but the feedback loop pulls in and then it gives out. And so this is why you basically don't have to turn it around. You're pulling and giving at the same time. I prefer to be able to give a direction. Excuse me. So this is why I don't use the feedback loop so much. But what we noticed was, if I give sessions, for example, at workshops, I use the feedback loop at holder when I use the harmonizer and put the harmonizer in there so it doesn't fall off. So, but so that's the idea. So usually it doesn't fall off. So this is what you can see here. And then people who can see the energies, they told us, hey, the feedback loop also works on this side. And in one of my workshops, there were several women who asked, what can we do for bladder issues? And one of the participants, she was wearing a fanny pack around her waist, and she had said, oh, I have the feedback loop in my fanny pack, and that took care of my bladder issues. I don't have any more bladder issues. And another one, she actually a former employee of mine, she had a lot of hip issues, and she put the feedback loop in her jeans pocket over her hip, and she said that brought her relief as well. Another cool thing we learned about the feedback loop, when you stand it up like that next to your nightstand, it's helping with this scrambling up negative energies that like to come to us during the night. And we also had nice reports of people who never believed in what we are doing. But they reported they had the best night's sleep ever. So again, this is the practitioner set. You can also hook the coil and the feedback loop together. The coil has the bead on the bottom, and this works even faster if you need a quick relief. Okay, so wait a moment. What? Yeah. So just remember that. I have used this one and this again with traveling, especially when you're outdoors. I had a bee sting me. I was in the car. I had a feedback loop in aqua coil in there. I put it towards my head. And usually my dad had bees. And so as a child, I had to watch them. And so, of course, they liked me so much that they were stinging me. And then I had swollen eyes and a lot of pain. But I put the coil towards the area where it was stinging me. And by the time I was home, there was no more pain and no swollen eyes. So I really got to appreciate that. Okay, let me just see what I can answer on questions right now. Are these rings also good while driving electric cars? Yeah. I think for an electric car, I would definitely have a harmonizer in there because the electric cars, I think, have a lot of EMF because of all the electricity. So I personally would, if I have a choice, I would not drive in an electric car. When I get a rental car, I always make sure it's not an electric car. And I know there was a lot advertising to get one, and I personally don't think it's a good idea because of the EMF. But if you have one, make sure you sit on a ring, and I would have a heavy ring to sit on it. And I would definitely have one of our silver-plated harmonizers. Because what we learned was when it comes to the harmonizer, the silver seems to work better for everything that is unseen. And that could be EMF, that could be radiation, that could be emotions, mental issues. That's where the silver-plated works better. And also, if you have a hepatic stress, the heart might get around your house or your workplace. In the beginning, we didn't have this measurement. This is the empowerment qubit measurement. And the sacred qubit silver-plated was better than what we had available. But we found in the last few workshops we did, we tested, and the empowerment qubit seems to be the better choice now. It's more powerful, but if you have another one, you can always program the harmonizer, put it in your hands, and program it to help you with what you have on issues right now. And why is silver more expensive? Simply because when it comes to dependence and environmental harmonizer, they have 8 layers when we have gold outside, and they are alternating. They are made out of copper, and then a layer silver, a layer 24K gold. Silver, 24K gold. And the last step, when the outside is silver, then it has 9 layers. And that's why the silver is more expensive, because it is another quite much more work than just ending it with the gold. And wait a moment, let's see what other questions are there. Okay. I can hear. Okay. Okay, so I think we are. Why don't you offer products in copper? We offer rings in copper, and we just don't offer the other tools in copper because, first of all, it would be just about the same price because it is more work. If you just, it's quite a production process and it's too long to go in there, but we found that the plated ones are just more powerful. And we want to give you the most powerful products that we can make available. If gold gets so expensive and silver that we cannot afford it anymore for the price that we are selling it now, then we have to reevaluate what we are doing and find another solution. Because just that you know, we used to pay $160 for a bottle of gold, and the last time we ordered it, it was like $290. And Slim, just to get you a reference, Slim When I met him in 2000, a bottle of gold was $11. So things have been, and we are trying to make them still as affordable as we can without going out of business. So just that you know where we are with that. Was it broken? Okay. I don't understand your question, Michelle. What is the definition used? Diameter, circumference. The length of 1 cubit is 20.6 inches, and that equals about 53.25 centimeters. Let me just do the math real quick. I forgot 2.54 times. Oh, I didn't do that.
Excuse me, do you have the information in the book?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so
So it
don't
is wait a moment. 1 sacred cubit ring is 20.6 inches or 52.324 centimeters. Okay. So this is the length of the wire, and then we put it together. So what I'm wearing is the half sacred cubit ring, and the half sacred cubit ring is especially good when you are working a lot on the computer, and we are recommending that you wear it on your left wrist, because what we learned in dark field microscope field, that the red blood cells have a tendency to stick together, agglutinate, when we work a lot on the computer. This is the reason why we get tired after a few hours, because the red blood cells are responsible for the oxygen transportation. So that means if they are sticking together, our body doesn't get enough oxygen. When we put the ring on, then we saw that doing the blood work before and after, that the red blood cells started flowing freely again. And this is what you want. If you're going hiking and putting a ring on your arm, and depending how skinny or big your arm is, you can put it up as much as you can. You can tuck it in your sweater or shirt or jacket, and then you will have more energy. And the left side is because this is how the blood goes to the heart, and then we have a fresh heart and it goes everywhere. So that's why the left ring on the left arm. Even if you are left-handed or right-handed, it doesn't matter. Now, what else can you do with the ring? If you have heart issues, if like a gentleman in a workshop, and he told me that he told us that he had open heart surgery and that he has heart issues. He had severe heart rhythm problems, and so I offered him a ring, and I gave him the ring, and he was like, during the training, he was like, and so I said, oh, he's making fun of me. And at night, he told me that he put the ring, since he had the ring in his pocket, he didn't have any heart rhythm problems the whole day. And usually he has it several times during the day. And so he sent me a testimonial that his cardiologist said, well, you just have to live with it. He had heart rhythm problems for over 30 years. And that was in March 2020. And when I saw him again in December 23 on a Zoom call like this one, and I direct messaged asking how his heart is doing, and he said, my heart is completely healed. And I also put it in my bra when my heart goes too fast. It happens occasionally, and it's calming it down also. And Slim was telling me of a gentleman who was scheduled for heart surgery, and he put the ring in his pocket, And when the appointment came for a final exam before heart surgery, the doctor said, and he was in his mid-50s, and the doctor said, "Oh my God, I don't know what you're doing, but your heart is healthy like that from a 30-year-old man." And the doctor said, "Don't tell me what you're doing, but keep doing it." Okay. So you don't have to believe in what the tools can do for that, because I think you don't think my dog was believing that the ring would help him and stop his arthrosis when he got that around his neck. Or my flowers perched up again after standing in the ring, and before they were kind of hanging their head, and then next thing you know, they are up and looking like fresh. And at one point, I think I had flowers for over 3 weeks, and a friend of mine was like, "I don't believe it. Are those the same flowers that you had 2 weeks ago?" And it actually happened. It doesn't happen always, but what does happen always? Nothing. Okay. So, but it's definitely good to be inventive, be creative, and people sometimes come up with things where I have no idea. I would never think of it, but they have amazing results. So this one, if you have a car and you want to get better mileage, get the nozzle through the ring. It takes 2 or 3 gas fillings, and people reported up to 30% better mileage. Okay, so let's just see what we have on messages. Okay, wait a moment. Okay, so the mini personal harmonizer, they all have this little hook on there. So this is where you pull it off, and then you can put it on another gemstone or another necklace. So what we found was that the harmonizers amplify the energy of gemstones, and quartz crystals amplify the energy of harmonizers. So if you have one of the bigger harmonizers, you can put a quartz crystal in there when you want the energy of the harmonizer to be stronger. If you want, you have a quality of special gemstones where you say, "Oh, I would love this quality in my environment," then you can put it in there. You can put on a Q-tip essential oils, and the harmonizer, they act like antennas. So they are spreading the energy that you put in there. For example, when you are concerned about what's coming down through different sources, chemicals or whatnot, what you can do is you can put remedies, homeopathics that are known for antiviral, antibacterial properties. You can put them in the harmonizer with the intention, and you put them in a little tissue, tuck them in there, and you can amplify this going in your environment. When we had I don't know if you in Europe remember, but here, wait a moment, when was that? I think it was around 2000 when there was this anthrax threat that they were sending anthrax in the mail to politicians with the intention to poison them. Slim remembered that he actually helped a lawyer and writer who was poisoned with anthrax. His whole property was poisoned, and the last resort was Slim. And so they asked if Slim could help them. And Slim had a crude version of this harmonizer with him. And he was, among many other things, a self-taught herbalist. And he also worked with a Native American woman who told him that the puffball, and that's a mushroom that is, when you step on it, it puffs, the spores go out. and this has antibacterial and antiviral properties. So he put some of the puffball in the harmonizer. He activated at the time, they only had the tape. So he put earbuds on the harmonizer and then activated the CD, and the CD helps to spread the energy of the harmonizer. And I don't remember now, was it an hour or longer? But when they checked with radionics devices, and the whole area was clean of all harmful bacteria. So this is, and Slim, when we had the anthrax threat, Slim had in his personal harmonizer, he had a little piece of puffball in the personal harmonizer. So this is how you can help yourself if you are concerned about all kinds of stuff that is coming from different sources and not in our best interest. This is how you can protect yourself and the people around the house. Okay, so let me just see. So why the silver is more, was it broken at the weld point or cracked? I think it was broken at the weld point, Kurum. I think who is that? Luis, are you talking about this small aqua coil? Are you talking about this? Okay, let me double check. Yes, this one has a bead inside. You can see it. Wait a moment. You see the bead?
Yes. So which?
Okay. So it works just the same as this one. And this is why I've been using this one so you can see it better. Okay? We also have it much larger. And you can find that on the website. A whole group of very conscious people have been using it outside, and they have done amazing work with taking care of weather situations. And I just want to see if I find a picture. It's been so long that I used that. But they had like, I think at one point they had 26 or so in the field. Oops. I gotta put that picture on here. No, it's not here.
My eyes, they're dry, uncomfortable, looking for
Oh, I'm in the wrong group. Okay, wait a moment. Give me one more sesh.
Here's is a once daily supplement, clinically proven to hydrate from within, helping your eyes produce more to promote lasting, continuous relief you'll feel day after day.
Okay.
Future tears.
Okay, guys, if you're interested in the picture, you send us an email and then I send it to you. And depending what you want to accomplish with the coil, you're using it in either pointing towards the sky or pointing down to the earth. So
Take over and experience softness.
yeah, I don't want to waste any more time. So let's see. Yes, you can wear oh, okay, wait a moment. Yes, you can wear a harmonizer with a shungite. And so Rita, you have experience with the puffballs. I don't see you, so I don't know where you are. But where are you located, Rita? You want to put it in the... Oh.
America has the greatest economy in the world, but I think most of us would
Oh, okay. So I haven't tried that, Casey. Using two qubits on the ring, you could definitely help with that. Rita, I have a very powerful report from a woman in South Africa, and Slim did a workshop in 2000 there. And there was a woman, she had a brain tumor and a liver tumor. And of course, I wasn't there, so I don't know which part of the brain was damaged. But what we were, and the doctor said you have 3 months about and take care of your affairs. And one of the workshop participants had two of those rings, and one she put on her tumor, wherever that was. The other one she put over her liver, and then she took one of our 3.5 cubit rings, and again, I wasn't there, so I don't know exactly how she did it, but she was going up and down with the large ring, and it took 6 weeks, and both tumors were gone. So of course there is no guarantee, because we don't know why we are getting all kinds of diseases, and so this is why I don't know if it would help him. And I would definitely drink super potentized water, and that would be the combination with the feedback loop and put put a jar of water in there. And then in addition to that, I would have the ring over his liver and work with the coil when he's sitting down and watching TV or reading a book. He can start with one hand circling around his liver. You know, if that would be my liver up here, I would just go and do that. And then, yeah, I just hope that he has, that the tools can help him. So I think now there are so many alternative ways to help with cancer that I would definitely, yeah, Kurum, that is definitely that the water can taste sweeter with the coiled and the superponent taste. But yeah, I mean, my stepmother had cancer, and I gave her vitamin B17, and what else did I get her? Uh, uh, Powder, like burst powder. I'm not prepared for that, but if you want to send an email, then I can find out what exactly I gave her. And it always depends if someone is open to alternative remedies or not. And I'm not a doctor. I would never tell anybody to do this or that, because it really is your choice. And I can only share what I noticed, what helped my stepmother and what helped other people, that the B17 is very powerful. It's even available on Amazon. And then just it's a journey. It's a journey. So we don't really know what we yeah, actually, when it comes to Tessa, your question, I have wait a moment. Okay. Thank you. I was just on Dr. Andreas Kalker's website the other day, because I was someone had the question about helping with the negative effects of the COVID jab, and so he has recommendations. So WW Andreas Kalker, he's actually in Switzerland. He is German. He worked a lot in South America, and it's very powerful what he has to share. So okay. Mr. Slim said that to make wine better, the cork should be off. Actually, I don't know when it's said, but what I think when it comes to red wine, it always tastes better when you open the cork to let it breathe for a while. But with white wine, you wanna usually, when I used to drink wine, that was the recommendation. To have a white wine cold and the red wine room temperature, but I heard someone saying it's now the other way around. So I live alone, so I don't drink alone, so I have no experience anymore. And so this is why I don't think that it has to be open. You know, what sometimes when I have guests and we have some wine left over, I put the cork on it and then I put it in the ring. And honestly, I think one time I had red wine for probably 3 months in the ring. And then someone wanted some wine, and I said, well, I have some that's been a little longer open. And we opened it, and it tasted really good. So, and if it would have been too sour, I would have just used it as red wine vinegar, you know, so, or white wine vinegar. But having anything in the ring keeps it so much longer, better. It's really, really amazing. Actually, my property in Missouri, and we bought olive oil, really good organic olive oil, and then we always say, oh, we are coming back soon, and the soon was 30 months later, and I had it in the ring, and I was like, oh my God, I wonder what it tastes like. And I opened it, and it tasted just like freshly opened. So it's very powerful. Okay. Okay, so the difference between the gold and silver mini harmonizer, yes, you can put them on any other necklace, whatever you like. The necklace we sent them to you has a string, and so that you can test different locations over different chakras. So this is why we have it uh, with the longer, so you can make it shorter or you can make it longer. Silver seems to have a better detox effect. So if you are around a lot of electric equipment, the silver might be better. But I prefer silver, but there are some pendants where I find the gold better. So it's really up to, I always recommend that you go with what you are drawn to, and not so much what we say on the website. And simply for that is that experiences are changing, and people, and we are evolving. And so I have one woman who swears for the garden is the silver in her case better. She works with the devas, and usually we say for plant growth, take a lost cupid harmonizer. So whatever works for you, go with that, and use your own inner intelligence, and the tools are going to work with you. And even you have the silver for EMF, it doesn't mean that it won't clean the air for you. Okay, so I'm not here to convince you of anything, and I'm not here to sell you many different things. I want you to really trust yourself. And this is what I noticed by working with the tools for so long. I always was intuitive, and it changed over time to get, sometimes I just would feel something is not right, and now I get more what is not right. So the tools support our growth, but they are not, I mean, you don't have to believe in them, but when you say, oh, bullshit, leave me alone, then I wouldn't waste any money on them, because the thing is, they are not interfering with your free will. They are not forcing you to get better. They are supporting you. And then a harmonizer, I always say, don't put a harmonizer in there and say, I can be the bitch I always have been, okay? So you gotta understand that they might show you what you need to change. If you have been a very negative person, they might bring you some opportunities to change your negative attitude, and then you're going to feel much better. But they are not transforming you in something that you don't want to be. That's really important for me to understand. You don't need to recharge the rings with a large, yes, actually the large coils, this is why Slim started making the large coils, Kurum, because we had many people working with horses and larger animals. Like a friend of ours is raising buffaloes and painted horses in Montana. And so we started, Slim started making the large coils, but practitioners found them also very useful for humans. So, and so they seem to be, yeah, they seem to work really well. Yes, I'm wearing my lotus pendant together with my harmonizer. So this is not interfering. I couldn't wear my New Dimension Unity Harmonizer together with my Tibetan pendant that I usually wear, because that would just be too much. But the pendants, if it's a lotus or a moon pendant, you can wear that together with the harmonizer, because they have different, they work differently. The lotus pendant can help you stay more centered. This one, especially if you're going through a grieving process, it's speeding up the grieving process and helping you to see the bigger picture of why something happened in your life. Okay, so this, you don't need to recharge the things. The rings work like what goes really deep are the lotus pendant in different sizes and the seed of life. We were told that wearing a lotus pendant in gold for 30 days, it would really go and make changes on a cellular level. The same with the seed of life and the half sacred and half lost lotus pendant. The rings definitely can help you. The combination when you have a, wait a moment. When you have the rings like in the lotus pendant where they are, where we have the Vesica Pisces, and this is even more stronger energy field, and this is why they are working deeper and go to a cellular level. So for weather, how you use the aqua coil for weather. So for example, if you see hail clouds or if you see dark pollution or something, you want to pull something out. So you would have the bead showing towards the earth and the open the other part showing towards the sky. Okay. Okay, wait a moment. Yeah, so that's this question. Can geopathic stress cause skin rashes? I don't know, but I think it is possible because geopathic stress can even cause cancer. So if you're lying on a crossing of the Hartmann-Krebs or geopathic stress, then on this area it can actually cause cancer. Like the Hartmann-Krebs was named after a German oncologist, Dr. Ernst Hartmann, and he was, I think, if I remember correctly, he went to, was it 3,000 or 5,000? So several thousand patients' houses and did the dowsing, and he found in probably 95% of the cases that the people developed cancer when they were laying over a crossing of harmful lines. the next workshop in German. So Michelle, if you speak German and want to join me for my workshop in Germany, it's a rare opportunity. I'll be there giving a workshop in Germany on the 28th and 29th of June. It's going to be in Bad Tölz, so it's in Bavaria, probably not too far away from you. And I think we only have 2 places still open. And the next workshop in Colorado is September 27 to 29. And we are starting Friday night for people to in Colorado. In Germany, it's Saturday and Sunday. And it's in a nice villa. It's the first time we are going there. And so the space is limited. Thank you. And yes, you can wear the ring all day on your arm, no problem. Best for eczema, I would always start from the inside out. I only drink potentized water, super potentized water, because my water filter is the whole day in the ring, and I actually use the heavier rings because I found that they also super potentize the water. So I have always water in the ring. And so when it starts from the inside out, I think the super potentized water is a great choice. And then just yeah, see if I don't know how severe the eczema is. If it is painful to have something on there, maybe it would help putting a ring over it. So I don't have any. Yes, you can.
Hello, I have a question for you with regards to the eczema.
Who is this? I don't see you.
This is for Louise. It's for Casey.
Okay.
Regarding the eczema, what ring did you say? What do you call it? For the water?
Water in the basement is, and I gotta find I put all my.
Who is talking? Excuse me. I really would like to see you because I don't know who am I talking to.
Because I paid a lot
Hello.
of money for those gutter guards
Hello.
and
I
they're
don't see
all
you.
gummed up. So I think all that rain overflowed, and then also
That's fine, because they advertise those
to not.
Katharina, I
Yeah.
think if you mute everybody other than the speaker, that will help. Somebody
Okay.
has their speaker on and they're not.
Yeah, okay. I think everyone is muted now. So if you have a question, you have to put it in the chat, or you have to show me your face so that I can actually know who I'm talking to. And okay, Rita, all the best for your husband. Thank you for joining us. Oh, I see we're already over the time. So time flies when you're having fun. So I will be in England on June 16th and 17th is the AMIH, that is the Alternative Medicine Conference. Alternativemedicine.com, I think, is the website. So the conference is AMIH. This stands for Alternative Medicine Integrative Health Conference. And I will be, my talk, it's a keynote about integrating the power of the LightLife tools in your daily life. So if you are in Europe and Holland, if you want to jump over, then just come and see me. I would love to meet you in person. And the same for Michelle. If you want to come to London instead of Bavaria, maybe it's a good time to get to meet in person. I thank you all for coming. I hope this has been helpful for you to get some insight on how you can use the tools. Make sure to just use what you have or get what you are attracted to the most, and start slow if you're a beginner and see what really speaks to you, okay? There is no one size fits all, and I want you to really enjoy them and let us know how they work for you. And together we bring more light and more harmony to this planet. And this is what we want to have for all of us, because that's what we need more than ever. Thanks again. Enjoy the rest of your day or your night, wherever you are. And send us emails to CS at, let me just put that in there, if you have more questions. Thanks again.